distinguished guests, graduates, diplomats, it's a great pleasure to be able to present to you Dr. Sabrina Cohen-Hatton, upon whom the University of Chichester is confirming an Honorary Doctor of Psychology. Dr. Cohen-Hatton stands as an extraordinary example of resilience, innovation, and leadership. Born in 1983 in Newport, South Wales, she faced profound adversity, made homeless at 15 following her father's death, and she survived by selling The Big Issue, enduring anti-Semitic attacks while sleeping rough. But at 18, she joined the South Wales Fire and Rescue Service, becoming the first woman at her station. Driven by a desire to improve emergency response, Dr. Cohen-Hatton balanced service with academia, earning a degree from the Open University and completing a groundbreaking PhD in behavioural neuroscience at Cardiff University in 2013. Her research, utilising helmet camera studies, revealed that 80% of incident decisions are instinctive, leading to a new decision control model that increased commanders' awareness 5-fold. This evidence-based innovation is now embedded in national policy via the National Fire Chiefs Council. Dr. Cohen-Hatton was appointed Cheif Fire Officer for West Sussex Fire and Rescue Services in 2019, one of the UK's most senior female fire officers, during which she led operational responses to high-profile incidents, including Westminster and Finsbury Park. And in April this year, she was appointed Chief Fire Officer of the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Fire and Rescue Service, the first woman to hold this post, and she started the position in August. I'm sure you will all join me in wishing her every success in this very significant role. But there's more. Dr. Cohen-Hatton is a best-selling author, The Heat of the Moment, a great read and still available in good bookshops, ambassador for The Big Issue, a recipient of numerous honours, including an honorary fellowship from Cardiff University, and in 2019 she was a guest on Desert Island Discs, choosing The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway as her single book, a photo album as her luxury item, and her favourite track was Bank Robber by The Clash. Dr. Cohen-Hatton's transformative leadership, pioneering scholarship, and advocacy for social mobility and gender equality make her a truly deserving recipient of the University of Chichester's Honorary Doctorate. Chair of the Audit Committee, Yvonne Chester, and Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Sabrina Cohen-Hatton for an Honorary Doctor of Science of the University of Chichester.
Honorary Doctor of Psychology at the University of Chichester.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I'm quite small. I hope you can see me. Proud parents, incredible graduates, and bored siblings playing on your iPhone. I feel like I have so much thanks to give for this, particularly to Dr. Tim for the plug of the book, and now I need to apologise for my dreadful taste in music. However, when I was reflecting on what to say to you all today, one phrase kept coming to mind, and that was great expectations. I know how hard you've worked to get here today. I know the grit and the determination and the stubborn, dogged sheer will that it takes to become a graduate. and it's not easy. And you'll no doubt have great expectations for what comes next, and it's going to be truly exciting. But one of the things that I want to say to you is greatness doesn't always follow expectations. In fact, sometimes the most amazing opportunities come around when you don't expect them. I know that when you say Cheif Fire Officer, people don't generally tend to expect me. In fact, there are still more Cheif Fire Officers called Chris than women chiefs in the UK, but there were more Daves at one point as well, and then someone retired and skewed my statistics, but we'll go with Chris. And I know that when you are so different to everybody else, it can take a while to feel comfortable in your own skin sometimes. But it's actually incredibly empowering, because when you don't meet people's expectations, do you know what? You're not bound by them either. And that leaves you free to draw your own boundaries. And I know certainly I didn't expect to be standing here today receiving an Honorary Psychology Doctorate. I really didn't. There was a time when all I could hope for was to get through the day. And you heard from the citation my experience of homelessness when I was younger. And it's an experience that I know is by no means unique to me, but there was a point in time when I didn't even expect to get through that, let alone have a career that I've loved, people that I love dearly and who love me, and to be able to be standing in front of you experiencing an honour like this. But at the point of time that secure accommodation became a reality for me, I started to think about what else might become a reality. And that's when I thought about the fire service. Because for me, firefighting is an incredible privilege, because people trust you to know what to do when they're having the worst day they've ever had. I could relate to that, because for a while it felt like every day was going to be my worst day. But here's the thing, when I joined the fire service, I didn't expect to take a detour into academia. I had an incident that completely changed the course of my world. I was called one day to deal with an incident where another firefighter was severely burned. The trouble was, there was a 1 in 4 chance that that other firefighter who was burned was my husband. And as I turned out to that incident, I can remember feeling incredibly torn between the role of a responder and all of the responsibilities and accountabilities that go with that, but also the role of a loved one and all of the fears and anxieties that go with that. And when we arrived there, I was fortunate. It wasn't my husband that was hurt, but it was a friend of ours. And that friend was someone else's loved one. And that incident made me think about what we could do to keep firefighters safer. And after that, I went back to night school and I studied psychology all the way up to a PhD in behavioural neuroscience, exploring how we were making decisions and how we could teach people techniques to help them make better decisions when it really mattered the most. And that is now something that we use all across the UK, and in fact, all emergency services now use it. I never expected something positive to come out of that day, but sometimes those greatest opportunities are dressed up like disaster. You've just got to peel back the surface a little bit and have practical optimism, and you'd be amazed at what you can do. Sometimes, I promise you, the best careers are squiggly. So whatever your expectations are today, have them, hold them, but please don't be bound by them, because you might be surprised at what tomorrow can bring. But what I do know is tomorrow is yours, and I dare you to grab it. Thank you, everyone.